Communities around our region and around the world are having problems with fatbergs, massive sewer clogs we first showed you in fall of 2019. Well, in the past few months, the problem has gotten worse. Will Glover brings us an update.
In September of 2019, I went to Macomb County, Michigan to visit the Clintondale pump station.
Will Glover, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Where I met with Public Works Commissioner Candace Miller.
Very interesting and pungent place.
Yes,
I
it
guess.
is.
It's pungent because this station pumps sewage. And in 2018, in a sewer line not far from here, they found what's known as a fatberg.
Let's just cut to the chase. We're here to talk about fatbergs. So what is a fatberg?
Well, a fatberg is something that sometimes sewer systems, they're found in the sewer systems. Macomb County found one made up of greases and oils that people have put down their drain rather than disposing of them properly in their garbage. And our particular fatberg was 19 tons, 100 feet long,
100 feet
11
long?
feet wide, and 6 foot tall. That was our fatberg.
Fatbergs have been found in sewer systems all over the world, and they can make raw sewage back up into your basement, or get released into rivers or lakes. They're caused when disposable wipes are put into the toilet instead of the trash. The wipes can tangle up into a kind of ropey rag ball, and when grease and oil and dirt and trash get caught in it, well, now you have a fatberg. So sewer systems have to remove the wipes before that happens.
How do you get this stuff out of the sewer or out of the water system?
Well, what you can see here is what we call the rake. And so this thing literally goes down very deep into our wet well here, and it is pulling up these wipes, these rags as we call them. And they dump them right into a bin, right? A trash bin here.
No.
A big dumpster.
Oh my goodness. That
And
is
so
terrible.
we get several of these dumpsters a week at this particular facility, just full of these wipes.
If you think it looks bad, you should try smelling it. It cost Macomb County $100,000 to remove their fatberg, and most of it is now in a landfill, but some of it was taken to Wayne State University's Integrative Biosciences Center in Detroit,
where Tracy Baker looks after it.
So you have an actual piece of the fatberg here in this lab, correct?
That's correct, yes.
And so were you really excited when you found out you were going to be working and studying a fatberg? Were you like, yay?
I was a little maybe timid at first.
Yeah.
Carol Miller had contacted me asking if I would be interested in studying the fatberg. I had to kind of look up what a fatberg was before I made that decision.
Carol Miller, no relation to Candace Miller, was the driving force behind getting the fatberg into the laboratory.
I'm very interested in what goes through our pipes, so when this huge backup occurred in Macomb County, I thought, wow, this is exactly my sort of stuff. I'm very interested in this, and maybe we can help solve the problem.
Part of the research involved picking through the fatberg to find out what it's made of. It's pretty nasty.
So your hands are in the tank, you're
Right.
moving stuff around.
So we're just looking to see what we can find in the fatberg. It's mostly plastic and wipes. We found a bunch of tampon applicators, and we can see like sheets like this, which is just wipes, looks like. Yeah, it just looks like somebody's trash can.
Fast forward to 2020. With the COVID-19 pandemic, many stores couldn't keep disinfectant wipes in stock. So I talked to Candace Miller and asked if she's seeing more wipes in the sewer system.
About a 400% increase, yes. It's crazy. Where we would normally get maybe 1,000 pounds a week, now we're getting 4,000 and 5,000 pounds a week. Every day we go to work with fingers crossed that we're not going to have another fatberg or some sort of clog in the interceptors because of all of these wipes.
Federal laws about wipes have been proposed, but the bills are stuck in congressional committees. So, on May 6, 2020, Commissioner Miller took to YouTube to make an announcement.
We're going to file a lawsuit now because I keep asking people to see if I can't get the federal lawmakers or the state lawmakers to file some legislation, not to stop them from making these, they're fine, just don't flush them down the toilet. So change the packaging. Instead of saying flushable toilet wipes, say do not flush, non-flushable. non-flushable, do not flush. That's all I'm trying to do here. Change the packaging.
Wipes are made of non-woven fabric. Dave Roos is the president of INDA, the Association of the Non-Woven Fabrics Industry. What does he think about Macomb County's wipe troubles?
We certainly identify with the problems that Macomb County is having. There are too many wipes being flushed that should not be flushed. But the problem is not those that are marketed as flushable wipes and pass the 7 tests that render them so. Rather, we have a very strong labeling campaign to put the do not flush symbol prominently on non-flushable wipes, and we're trying to get the public to pay attention to these disposal instructions.
And you should pay attention. A lot of the wipes we're using are not flushable, and they're marked with a do not flush symbol. I guess it's kind of prominent, right? INDA has even produced videos starring the Science Mom to help you understand which wipes you should flush and which wipes you shouldn't flush. But what makes a flushable wipe flushable?
The flushable wipes are 100% cellulose, wood-based or cotton-based cellulose. The fibers are held together to have the strength needed at the point of use, but then that strength is liquidated once the product is flushed. The bonds dissipate and the material passes through the wastewater conveyance system and ultimately biodegrades in the treatment process.
But maybe you want to see if the wipes break down when they're really flushed. That's been tested at Ryerson University in Toronto.
Associate Professor Darko Joksinovic supervised the research, so I got in touch with him.
This research was undertaken by Ryerson Flushability Lab, so let's start with that word. What is flushability?
Flushability is a very undefined term at the moment, and it basically pertains to the ability of products to be safely conveyed in our wastewater systems.
There are a number of different standards for flushability. The wipe industry uses its own standard, but the Ryerson research followed a standard developed by the International Water Services Flushability Group.
And the international group we found to be more representative of what actually exists in wastewater collection systems.
Ryerson grad student Anum Khan conducted much of the research in the flushability lab, which mimics the typical household drain line.
We have a setup of a toilet with about 18 to 20 meter pipeline, where we simply flush the product down and see whether or not it comes out in one flush. If not, then we keep on going. So that's one of the tests. And then the second one is disintegration. So we simply put the product into a slosh box and slosh it back and forth to see how it performs in water. And then the third one, which we're currently working on, is settling. Will it remain floating or will it settle to the bottom of the tank? If it sinks to the bottom, it can cause a lot of different problems. So that's where the buildup begins.
101 wipes and other products were tested. Some were labeled flushable and some weren't.
They range from baby wipes, cleaning wipes, cleansing wipes, paper towel, facial tissue, and even dog waste bags.
Did you say dog waste bags? Is that something that people flush?
They are labeled flushable, so it was included in our list. How many people are flushing it, that I am unsure of.
I hope it's not very many, because that doesn't sound right.
I hope so too.
After all these flushable and non-flushable products were tested, what were the results?
Not a single product actually passed the test. There wasn't a distinct difference between those that were labeled flushable and those that didn't have that label on it.
Some of the products that were labeled flushable would disintegrate more, but not sufficiently to pass this test.
One recommendation that came out of the study: eliminate the word flushable on product labeling. So if you want to avoid fatbergs and sewage spills, wipe with whatever you want. But when it comes to flushing, stick to toilet paper.
Thanks for watching. For more on these stories and the Great Lakes in general, visit greatlakesnow.org. When you get there, you can follow us on social media or subscribe to our newsletter to get updates about our work. See you out on the lakes.